All right, there we go. Got to figure out the audio on that one. Half Witty Banter Podcast, we're back once again, and now live, always live. No editing for Tristan, I don't have time for that. Zack Miller is my guest today. How you doing today, Zack?
Thank you, it's good to be here.
It is good to be here.
It is good to be here.
It's a wonderful Friday.
That's right.
And we're drinking,
we made
so
it.
Can't be better, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about you, Zack. The listeners at home want to know all about you, your life story from birth.
From birth.
That's how we do it.
Is this what you do to everybody?
No, I've never done this before.
Okay, so are we serious then? I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Columbus back in 1986. And that's it, man. Here I am now.
Let's see if we have audio.
Columbus.
We do. Yes!
Good.
Ah.
Well, no, seriously. You know, I'm me. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Working nationwide. Are we allowed to say that?
Oh my God! You broke the first rule of podcast. No. Well, no. You can say whatever you want to say. Actually, the question would be, it'd be more like, do you want to say that?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, sweet.
I mean, alcohol is legal, and I represent, you know, my company well. It's a Friday night.
That it is.
But yeah, no, what about me? I enjoy racing, video games, hanging out with friends, my career, my fiance. So
you got it all going on.
I got it all going on, man. This is a big year for me.
How'd you get into racing?
Oh God, I don't know. So my dad was a gearhead, and he taught me how to work on my own car when I was about 15, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. He used to tell me these crazy stories about his childhood when he had cars. And I guess I just fantasized about doing that kind of stupid stuff when I grew up.
Nice. What kind of cars did he have?
He had a 1967 Pontiac GTO. So a dream car for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And I think what motivated me to get into the cars was he was telling me how he used to run around with the Maxton kids. So it's like it used to be a big name in Columbus. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No.
Jack Maxton Chevrolet.
I don't know a whole lot about the auto racing scene.
Well, so I'm not trying to advertise for him. Jack Maxton used to be like a big name around Columbus. I honestly don't know that it is anymore. But my dad used to run around with him and a couple of buddies in high school. Jack Maxton's son. I can't even recall his name at this point. But yeah, they used to street race back in the day.
Son of Maxton.
Yeah, son of Maxton. So like around the time Columbus was getting built, you know, back in the late 60s, 70s, and 270 was getting built. They used to use it as like a drag strip.
Huh. 270?
270, yeah.
God, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so my dad told me this really cool story about how they just opened 270 up, like literally that same day.
Huh.
The guys go down to the on-ramp, hop out on 270 just as they're opening up the gates to let people start using it, and just had a wide open highway to themselves.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's hard to imagine, especially because how bad 270 is now. Just
God,
beautifully paved piece of surface for you to do whatever you wanted.
That would be insane to experience a brand new highway.
Absolutely.
Like, it's all new. It's right here. No potholes, nothing. This has been a terrible year for potholes.
Yeah, it's been a bad year.
Oh my God. I feel like I hit a million of them. I've actually started to notice when they fill them in because I'm so used to hitting certain ones, I just can't avoid them. I'm too stupid to remember where they are. And I'll be like, every time that I get on this one on-ramp, I hit the pothole there, and I'm like, God damn it, I think this time.
Tristan, I'm going to be honest, I hear bad things about your driving.
Well, let me tell you. I'll tell you something. I'd be a terrible race car driver. Driving is a stress point for me. I think I'm a decent driver, but I'm also just sort of an idiot all around. And it's weird. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I don't think that's insulting. People will be like, oh, don't be negative about yourself. You're not an idiot. Well, I think I'm great. But I'm willing to admit that I am just stupid sometimes. And it's so weird. Some days it's like I'm not the same mentally, and I'm just like, I can't function. Like, I can't function in certain ways. So I'll get in the car and I'll be like, it's my first day.
So is that like a disorder, you think, or is that just circumstantial?
Okay, well, it's funny you would say that, because what I think is I think absolutely it's probably a disorder, or that's what they would tell you.
Yeah.
Somebody will label it a disorder. But you know what it probably is? Just me, man. That's just my chemicals. They lined up that way. Maybe like a series of chemicals led to me being like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a disorder. It's just who I am. And a lot of disorders are just who you are, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, no, I couldn't agree more.
But people label it so they can complain easier. And they can find like a group of people to complain with, you know?
True that, yeah.
And there's, yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Cheers to that.
Cheers. There's some disorders that are like completely legit. I'm not saying that they aren't, but there's a whole bundle that are just some bullshit. People whining. But yeah, I would say I wouldn't be a good race car driver, but I would have fun trying, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm a terrible race car driver.
I think I'm a decent driver on the road. My problem is my mind goes all over the place at all times, so.
Well, you're not playing like Pokemon Go or anything, are you?
No.
Well, then you're better than half of Columbus was
right.
last summer.
Collecting Pokemon while they're driving. That's what I'd say. There are a lot worse drivers than me, and I think everybody in our friend group or expanded friend groups would agree that there are worse drivers.
I can count them on my fingers right now. Pokemon goers, right? So this was
goers.
a big thing last summer.
Did you play the Pokemon Go?
Fucking couldn't. No, I couldn't on principle because I saw them in traffic.
Right, well, you don't have to play while you're driving. You could just walk around.
Dude, no, you got those people. Have you ever seen the foot out the window?
Dude, I've seen that.
Yeah, so that's
not the driver though. You talking about the driver?
I've seen the driver.
That's insane.
Yeah, so we're talking.
They're like practicing for gymnastics.
One foot is keeping them from slamming into traffic ahead of them. So there's that.
Jesus.
And the text and drive, and like I get it. You pop up, you know, you got your little like quick text and stuff you can do. I get it. But the people that are just like buried in that shit, they don't look up until.
Dude, they're probably reading Reddit. Let's be serious. I bet you they're on Reddit.
They're not half.
Dude, so many people are Redditing and they're just like absorbed in it.
Those people, Columbus people, are not Redditing. They're texting. They're like, had a bad day. Fart noises.
Well, so my thing is I'm always on the GPS, and I'll hold it because I don't have like the mount thing yet. I haven't spent the $10 because I'm an asshole. Yeah. And I hold it, but when I can't, it's inbred, man. This is genetics. My mom's the same way. You talk to my mom in the car, she'll miss every turn, you know? And I'm just like that.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going. I know one way to get everywhere. I'm starting to get pretty decent around Columbus, although everyone out there that we know would probably disagree. But I am getting better in certain areas.
Cooper?
But I just...
Is that you?
What?
The Mini Cooper, is that you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not a Mini Cooper, it's a Fiat. But I know... You know,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's on me. That's
it really is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't help that my podcast logo is essentially a Mini Cooper logo.
Yeah, that's bad.
But we're gonna do a remodel, all right? We will.
I didn't even realize that. Like, that's real bad. You gotta fix it.
I just thought it was, kind of a cool shape. It had nothing to do with Mini Cooper.
I get it.
But yeah, I do drive the Fiat. Which brings me to your car.
Yes.
Which I did not see which one you pulled up in, but...
Borrowing my fiance's Kia.
There you go.
It's feeling pretty badass.
It's a Kia Sorento?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Now, that's an okay Kia.
It is,
Our friend Phil has a Kia Soul.
I made fun of that car ever since he got it.
I just don't really like how they drive. Now, I don't blame him for having it. That's fine.
It's the styling that offends me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is it specifically about the styling that you don't like?
Because it reminds me of the damn hamsters from the commercial.
Oh, dude, yeah. So basically, the ad campaign just screwed it for you.
Yeah, there's no coming back from that.
I agree. Yeah, it didn't make me want it. I don't know why they would think that would make you want it. You want to be just like these hamsters? Like, who doesn't want a car that hamsters would want? And they show, like, a car that has eagles in it, and they're just, like, eating the hamsters out of the Kia Soul.
Well, I mean, they were dancing and listening to techno. So maybe that's the target market at the time. Phil bought it, right?
Yeah, so, but, like, why not pick a cooler animal to be, like, technoing it up?
All I'm saying is...
Because it's a cute, small car.
You can judge a man's character based on the ad campaign of the vehicle he bought. So think about that for a little bit.
Oh, no, dude.
Phil, weird fetish.
That means I'm riddled with STDs, because Charlie Sheen was the Fiat ad campaign, right? Yeah, I think so. Wasn't he driving a Fiat around his house when it was like Alfa Romeo? Actually, Alfa Romeo has some pretty cool cars that aren't compact.
That is true.
Every time I go to get my oil changed and stuff, because you have to do most of that at the dealership with the Fiat.
Yep.
They have pretty sick cars.
The 4C?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's a sharp one. I'd drive that. That's a few.
I want to drive that. You know, I'd like to test drive it. I wonder if they'd let me.
Maybe.
Let's see.
You seem like a genuinely nice guy.
I'm pretty nice. Get behind the wheel and be like, whoa, we'll drive it for you. All right? You just sit in the back. I'll be like, it's great. I can tweet or something. Twitter's the one social media I still don't understand.
Well, I understand it. I just abstain from it.
I'm pretty bad at it.
I'm not for it.
Why? Are you against social media in general?
Oh, God, no. I'm a social media director.
Really?
Yeah, for Viper Owners Association.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, I guess.
And is that because you have a Viper?
It is, yeah. So I was reaching out to the local chapter in this, basically the dead of winter this year. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you guys need help with anything? And there's a reason for that. You know, I try to stay active in the community while all my shit's broken.
The Viper community?
Yeah, any community. Any
okay.
racing community, yeah. Because the thing is, can you look at my nipple?
I'm looking at like the corner of the Ohio there. Yeah. You got like this. He has an Ohio shirt on, which you can't see here. You should turn to the camera. Show him. It's got the camouflage on it, and it's like vanishing into your chest. So I keep staring at it.
You're respecting it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Maybe a little nipple.
Yeah, there is. I get excited when I'm interviewed.
You're looking good.
Thank you. It's chest day today.
Mm-hmm.
Sweating for the wedding.
Dude, I wanted to work out, but I couldn't get into it because I was like kind of straightening things out so we could get this going.
Yeah, I figured you were when you just performed early.
Uh huh.
So when you just.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was approved.
Absolutely.
My leave today. Yeah. Do a lot of work, you know. Get tired.
You're doing big things over there, though, for real.
At work?
You're doing important things for the company right now. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but we're off work. Let's not talk about it. We'll leave it there.
All right.
Leave it in the shed, you know.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the work now. The work never ends.
Yeah, this work.
Yeah, all work.
You're doing God's work.
There's just always work happening at all times. And people are always like, "Oh, you work so hard," and I'm like, "Well, most of it's for me, so it's not really like work, you know."
Right.
I think work is generally for someone else.
Is it my turn to interview yet?
Yeah, go for it.
What made you decide to start doing podcasts? Because I gotta say, I've never met a podcaster before.
What did make? Well, I listened to podcasts and I thought they were fun.
I too listen to podcasts.
And I like to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you know, I listen to a ton of podcasts, but I have not listened to that many local podcasts, mostly because I haven't heard of any coming out of Columbus.
I don't think there are a lot.
Even if there are, they're not getting notoriety and they're not getting out there, you know, or maybe somehow, or I'm not in the channels that are seeing that.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I love to talk, and I have a background in radio and marketing, and I love talk radio specifically. Like, I would love to do one of those late night radio shows where crazy people call in, you just talk to them. That'd be amazing. I want to do that.
No, I gotta say, you remind me of a younger, better looking Conan O'Brien.
Oh my God, that is a high form of flattery.
Good.
I appreciate that.
Love Conan.
Yeah. I like Conan
shows,
too,
man.
dude.
Very enjoyable.
Me too, and I rarely watch them just because TV's on the outs, you know. But YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
YouTube's where it's at.
Yeah.
It's the future.
I mean, we got the new TV.
I know Conan was talking about getting a contract with YouTube. So.
Dude. Well, Conan, yeah, his team's pretty on it with the media. I mean, they've got a YouTube channel. It's pretty popular and stuff. But,
yeah.
Yeah. You know who I don't like is Jimmy Fallon.
All right, dig deeper on that, because I kind of like Jimmy Fallon.
I'm not a Fallon guy. I feel like, so he has huge, the reason I mentioned him is not because I have like a deep hatred for him, but it's because he has a really, really popular like YouTube channel, and that's what's really getting his show going is all his web stuff.
Yeah.
But he does these like stupid games with celebrities, and I don't think that they're interesting really. Fair enough. Like I like hearing stories from these people because they all have interesting stories to tell. Right. But everything I see from him online is just them playing a game, and it seems like simple, like low-hanging fruit as far as humor goes.
Yeah, I got you.
And I don't know. I'd rather hear people talk. I mean, I love stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And I love storytellers when they're just like talking about like stuff going on around town, and I don't know. So it's probably just not my brand. So I respect that, like, he touches on a lot of people's funny bones, but it's just not mine. So.
Do you like the bromance between him and Justin Timberlake?
I mean, I think everybody has a bromance with Justin Timberlake, you know?
But do you respect their relationship?
I mean, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they're both musical dudes and funny, and
yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad that they're having a good time. A lot of times, you know, with celebrities, I think you don't really know if they're enjoying it or if they're just workaholics and they just have gotten that success. But it's nice to see. I mean, I feel like they have a good time when they're doing that thing. And there's specific people that famous people link up with, or really anybody links up with. I mean, look at our group of friends. We're all really different people, but we do enjoy some similar things. And like we've just found each other, and then we have a really great time every time we hang out. It doesn't matter what we're doing.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, if we were working, we like working together.
Yeah.
Just like that. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's the same. Off camera. I'm sorry.
Oh dang. Sorry. I tried to set it up so it would be better about that. I'm gonna.
Cool.
This table isn't staying. This is the first live podcast, as all you YouTubers out there should know. But yeah, right now we just have like a makeshift setup. We're gonna do something about this. I'm gonna pour a concrete countertop.
Ooh, I like it. That's ritzy.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're gonna do like sections, so we can change it around depending on what we're doing. And there'll be one part that's up. This isn't gonna make any sense, but I just want to say it.
Yeah.
One part will be up and one part will be down. Like it'll be a little bit tiered, and so it'll be in sections. So imagine a circular table, right? But each quarter of that table has two pieces, and one is like an inch higher than the other.
Okay.
Right? And then beyond that, there'll be like a tab that sticks out, and they'll all kind of like seat into each other, but then you'll be able to rearrange it. So it could be like a larger half circle. You'll have to see the plans, but
yeah,
they're all in here right now.
That's great. No, I respect the build.
Yeah? You like building stuff?
I do.
Cars? Other things?
No, I don't like building cars, man. If I had more disposable income, I would not touch my own car.
Okay, let's say you had all the money necessary to do the thing.
Okay, done. Had this thought before.
What is it? What's the thing?
What do you mean, what's the thing?
What's the thing you would do if you had all the money?
I would probably travel and race all the effing time. Yeah.
Where would you go? Where's the first place on your list?
First place.
Bucket list?
I'd like to go to Georgia, race for Atlanta.
In the United States?
Yeah.
We're talking global. You can go anywhere.
That's my
Georgia's
first stop. Man,
okay.
I want to race. I want to do that. No,
you should do it. I'll sponsor you.
Thank you.
You got your first $15.
Yeah. All right, right on, man. That's what I'm talking about. This is why I do these things, you know. So building gaps like that. No, I'd like to see Europe. I've always wanted to see Australia. I got this fascination with nature, so I'd like to see the Great Barrier Reef.
Before it's gone.
I'd like to see some bindies, you know. I'd just like to hang out in the Australian culture.
Yeah.
So that would be a major stop for me. And then just all over Europe. I mean, gosh, my Miller name is from Germany, right? So I'd like to see Germany.
I forgot. That's what I was going to do. Sorry not to interrupt you. We'll come right back to that. But I was going to buy a tall boy of Miller Lite and write Zack Miller Lite on top of it and say, I got this from the distributor. They said that it was a limited edition. But I totally forgot. So, damn it. Oh.
I would have liked that.
Yeah, it would have been good.
It feel special.
Well, I forgot. Next time.
But
anyways.
No, travel, I'd go everywhere. Come on. If you had unlimited income, wouldn't anybody do that? Unless you're a total homebody,
yeah.
You just want to like shoe in your mansion. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's VR now. Some people will never leave.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Until VR has gone like to the point where you've got the smells and the feeling too, besides just the visual effect, then it's not going to beat real life yet. I think it's going to get to that point. You know, what was that story that just came out? They're making it into a movie.
Ready Player One.
Yeah. So,
did you read that?
Oh yeah.
What'd you think?
I liked it. You did.
I didn't read it. I didn't read it. Oh. I read the first chapter, and I couldn't get past it.
What? Why?
Because I thought that the writing was dog shit. Now I love video games. I love nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
But I thought he wrote like just a child, like had no idea how to write.
Well, it was from the perspective of a fat, pimply teenager that lives in a trailer. So I mean, technically,
was it a diary though?
No, it wasn't. But isn't the writing spot on from his narrative? If that's what you're dealing with, put yourself in his shoes.
Nah, I don't think so. Well, that's the thing is, I'm a choosy reader. So, anyways, I can't. If I don't like it, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah. No, I was able to dive right into it because you know the concept of it. Concept alone is enough for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, and you thought overall it was like really good, or did like compare it to other like in your spectrum of reading books, yeah, was it like top 10 in your mind? Okay.
No. It's not like earth shattering. I just enjoyed the story. It's like watching a sci-fi movie on Netflix and you're like, it wasn't bad, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like you're telling all your friends they got to see it, but you enjoyed it.
In that one, I knew also that they were making a movie of it. So even though people told me it was good and I should read it, I was like, I feel like maybe this will be better as a movie since I don't like the writing style. Yeah. You know, I'll be able to sit and watch that, and I'll get the important things that I need from it.
Maybe you're a preemptive hater.
No, I'm a hater for sure. Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. It's funny. It comes out like immediately, I guess. But yeah, I was thinking about like I'm totally a hater. I'm trying now actively to stop some of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just immediately hate on things. Like my mind is just like a viper. Like it immediately just like just fuck you. Like, you know, that's the first thing that happens in my head. But in a lot of cases, I'm reserved and don't say anything. But I'm still feeling those feelings, and so if I'm prompted at all, those come out. So I'm really trying to. That's one of my goals for the next 5 years is to try to not be as much of a hater and just accept everything as for what it is.
So that means not vocalizing it, but still feeling it, or are you're gonna completely shut that shit down?
No, that means like when I feel it, registering it and being like, "That was stupid. Don't feel it." Like that, like there's no reason for you to feel that way, and eventually not feel it.
You think you're gonna retrain yourself? I like that.
I'm hoping.
Well, you know, Dave Chappelle said one time, "If you got hate in your heart, let it out."
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of respect for that. Like that lets you lighten your load.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the podcast and comedy is like I feel like if you don't joke about things that you immediately don't like or things that you're judging, I guess, then there's no comedy. I mean, if you can't like joke about it and see that it's a joke, like there's a lot of things I just don't like, but I see what's funny about it, you know?
Right.
And I don't know.
Well, this is a great stage for that too, right? So if I went on to an internet forum or social media and I started putting out like something that irked me and I instantly hated on it, I'd be a hater and people would call me an asshole. But if you do it on video or in a podcast, people are like, I respect his opinion. So you've got that going for you, and you know, when in Rome.
Yeah, let us know, viewers out there, past and present and future, just how you feel about how we feel.
Yeah,
and we'll respond eventually.
Yeah. Sippy poo.
Cheers.
I feel like you got ahead of me.
I did. I was a little nervous.
Looked like you had ice there. I was upset for a second.
Oh no, I would never hold back ice from you, my friend.
Oh, that would be a rotten move. Bring me on here. And then deprive me of ice.
Rotten indeed. First class down. Donkashane. When was the last time you heard Donkashane?
I can't say within the last decade, actually.
There you go.
I'm impressed.
It's great. So, have you heard that every 7 years all the cells in your body die and they're new cells? Because we regenerate, right? Our cells are regenerating, rather. We're creating new cells. So, have you heard that I said it wrong. So, cells are constantly dying and your body's rebuilding, right? So, every 7 years you become a brand new person, technically. Like, all your cells are new after 7 years.
Is that why we go through cyclical changes, like groups, friends, and loved ones?
I think that was like it's probably a good correlation to make.
Was that your segue?
My segue would be, well, no. What I was going to say is, do you feel like a different person now? Like you said that this is a good year for you. A lot of changes are happening. Those changes are external mostly, but do you think you'd be able to like pinpoint when you think maybe you became a new person or like where you are in that 7 years?
So wouldn't my birth date need to be divisible by 7 if that were the case?
Technically, yes.
So it's full of shit.
But it could be, well, no, you could be in the process. So you don't have to be the full new person yet. You could be a quarter of your old self and 3/4 new.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think I just had a really lucky year. Or not so much luck. Maybe. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know if I agree.
I feel like it makes a lot of sense because based on your diet and what you're doing in your life. Like maybe for 10 years you were a fitness dude and you're eating right, and you think a certain way and you have all these the way that you are, right? And then you change. 4 more years go by, your lifestyle slowly changes and you're no longer quite as active, and now you're watching more TV, eating more junk food. Well, when you change, a lot of those cells, like over half of the cells, right, that are in you now after 14 years are going to be you being sluggish. So that, I think, would change your mindset, and it would kind of change what you like and maybe the way you taste. I mean, think about how your taste buds change. Same thing.
Dude, this is deep.
Mind blowing.
I didn't expect. Let me just have a sip. Because I didn't expect to get this dark this fast.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get those Budweisers out when we start going down the rabbit hole, huh?
Okay, so I've been dating my fiance now for 6.5 years, almost 7.
Oh man, so this is really hard, kind of thing.
Hitting home, man.
Yeah.
I just suddenly decided. No, I'm just kidding. I've known that I wanted to marry my fiance for a number of years. Things just hadn't quite fallen into place. And I'm not one of those people that doesn't make decisions unless everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, quite the opposite. Like in past life, I make decisions on
the old
the fly.
you.
Not even the old me, because I still do it.
Yeah.
I still do it.
Me too.
I knew how I wanted to go about this, and one of the big things was, I was like, shit, I can't get married until I have my competition license, until I'm racing, until I've got my name built, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I realized last year, I was like, fuck, I've been chasing this dream for 12 years now. I mean, 6 of it was like, yeah, I know I want to do it, but I don't have the money to do it. And then the other 6 of it was actually actively trying and constantly failing. So at some point, I just had to accept that maybe it wasn't going to happen, and I can't put the rest of life on hold for it.
Yeah.
And then ironically, as soon as I did that, things just fell in place. Got a promotion this year. Got the financial means to finally chase the dream. Both of my cars are running going into the season, which has never been the case.
That's dope.
I'm almost always building shit right up until the day before I start running my cars. So like it's kind of crazy. I'm sitting there like, this feels weird, right? Like everything's right, and I'm expecting a turd to just fall on me at any time.
So what's a competition license?
The competition license is with NASA. That's the sanctioning group, NASA Pro Racing.
I like that name.
Dude,
reminds me of something else.
Group. Honestly, they're a good support system. I've met some of the best people I know in my circle of life now through those guys.
What does that stand for? National Auto Success Association?
Honestly, I'm drunk already. I can't answer that question for you at this point.
All right, fair.
Yeah, but NASA Racing, just a great group of people, and God bless them. I can't wait to get out there and race this year.
So you get your competition license with them, and that allows you to sign with pro teams, or
no.
I don't know what that really.
It just allows me to get out and race wheel to wheel, which is like a high risk type of racing. Right now, I'll go out and do HPDEs, so I get to race around. Not even a race around. I get to drive around the track as fast as I want and improve my skills. And
there aren't other cars on the track.
There are other cars on the track.
Okay.
We're just not racing.
You can't pass them?
You can pass them.
What's the distinction between wheel to wheel and not, and what you're doing now?
The distinction is, at the end of the day, you're not classed against people, and there's no awards for it. There's no glory.
Okay, so you're not getting the statistics after each race. Like, you're not getting added to the stat sheet. You're not affecting.
Right. Technically, you're not even supposed to be timing yourself while you do HPD.
Oh, really?
I don't think. I don't do it personally.
Oh, really? I was about to say, I'm sure everyone does.
No. And then I do autocross. So that's where you get into, there's parking lots, you set up cones, you can rent out tracks. There's like a couple of great venues around Ohio that do it.
Yeah.
And that's just time trial, basically. So you start here, you end here, they tell you your time, you get several runs, and then whoever has the best runs wins.
Huh. That's cool.
It's fun. It's not well respected, I'll say. There's like large sanctioning bodies that do that too, where like the competition's really stiff and the cars are just awesome. But I don't know. There's kind of a negative connotation around Auto X because you're not out racing with other guys. You know what I mean? Like physically wheel to wheel, you're not out there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know a lot about racing, but I watch NASCAR.
Yeah.
Because I like NASCAR. I fell off this last year, but I want to get back into it. You know, a couple buddies and I used to bet on it. Silly, stupid bets, like just with each other. And I mean, it's a hell of a lot of fun. And I went to the Indy 500 one year. There's a drag track that I went to up north, I think. Yeah, north probably.
Yeah.
Direction thing again, don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I'm always down to watch a race. Do you know when your first race will be with your competitive license?
I don't. So I'll be getting licensed the end of March this month.
Mm-hmm. Well, let us know because we'll bring a contingent out there.
Okay, sweet, man. Yeah, no, I have. Basically, I'll get my license and I can race if I want to. The next event that I'd be going to is in April, I think. Yeah, it's April. It's
nice.
Hitler's birthday, man.
Oh no, what's Hitler's birthday?
420.
That's Hitler's birthday?
Yeah.
Holy shit! No wonder people smoke weed on that day.
Oh, it's fucked. Oh.
I just never knew that.
Yeah. So anyway, that would be the first
I would think it'd be poop on chest day, not like smoke weed day.
Sure.
Because that's what Hitler liked, was getting his chest pooped on, right?
Is that right?
I think it was a rumor. I don't know if it's true.
I thought I'll take your word for it.
He likes all kinds of stuff, I guess, but doesn't like Jews. That was one thing he didn't like.
That's true. That's true, man. Okay.
But we like them.
Yes, we do.
Thanks, Jews, for all those movies that you've made in Hollywood.
Well said. Really well said.
Getting the YouTube fans.
Anyway, April, I can decide if I want to race. I'm not sure that I want to yet. Is that weird?
No.
I've wanted to do it for 12 years, and I'm not sure that I want to get out because I have a fear of my car blowing up or getting in an accident or something crazy like that. So I just want to get out and get comfortable.
Well, here's a deep, hard-hitting question that you may not want to answer, and if you so choose, you do not have to, with every question that is asked in the world, ever.
Yeah.
What do you think about when you do think about something catastrophic like that happening? Like, what is the driving force that stops you from wanting to do the thing because it's a possibility that that could occur?
Self-preservation, probably.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think about any specific reason, like I wouldn't be able to use my arms, I wouldn't be able to do this thing anymore.
Yeah,
you know, like
no, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I love it too much to be worried about that shit. More or less, I'm worried about the car blowing up or something.
And then that just hurting you or the car?
No, not hurting me, just the car.
Oh, so you love the car?
No, I don't give a shit about the car.
I don't get it.
It costs money and I have to have downtime if it blows up.
So but isn't the whole point of it to raise?
Yes.
So then I'd say go for it.
No, yeah, probably will.
Yeah.
I'm just a little antsy right now about it.
Do you think you have the skill to get money behind you?
No.
Okay,
no,
fair.
I've been told by my, I'll call him a mentor, he's given me a lot of good advice that I have natural talent.
Oh, really?
But lots of people, have you ever seen American Idol?
What is American Idol? No, I've seen it, yeah.
Those people sometimes have natural talent, but they still sound like shit. I mean, you don't know that you're going to be awesome when you get out there. That's true. I have fast hands in reality. Like, I can get the wheel into a place that I want it to be extremely fast, like a ninja. And actually, this is one of my special talents. So I have a really wide range peripheral vision. So like, I do really weird shit all the time. Like, I'll be in the kitchen next to Amber, and we got our spice rack up above us. I'll be looking over here at like 10 o'clock, and she'll drop something out of that rack, and I'll shoot a hand out and catch it like a fucking ninja. I do that shit all day, and that's sick. That's what gives me the ability to man the wheel so well. My biggest lack in talent is operating the shit down by my feet. So like, I'm a wheel man, but I'm not a pedal man.
Right.
So I've got a long way to go.
So it's the mind-foot coordination.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm an amazing driver, but
foot-eye coordination.
I think there's an opportunity to be a good driver someday. So.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, if you get somebody starting to pay for your car, then blow them all up.
I don't know how you do that in today's world, man. Like, it is
Kickstarter.
So competitive. It is so fucking competitive.
GoFundMe?
I have a GoFundMe.
For car racing?
For chicken wings.
Oh, well, hold on. We need to hear more about this, but I think this definitely we need the Budweiser.
All right. Good intermission.
Thank you, Zach, for bringing this delicious beverage.
Well, you know,
into the household. Whole 40.
Thank you for you know, the podcast opportunity.
Anytime, my friend. In fact, I don't know. I know you like racing, and we're gonna be back to that chicken thing in one moment. But do you like other sports?
That's a good question. I used to really like other sports.
Mm-hmm.
See, did you rip my label, or did that just happen naturally?
I think that happened naturally.
Well, that's a beautiful thing.
But I ripped my own label.
Yeah. No, I casually watch NCAA.
Uh-huh.
I watch March Madness. That's the only basketball I do.
Okay.
I enjoy hockey games in person.
Yep.
Big Jackets fan for that. And NFL a little bit. I was born and raised a Browns fan, unfortunately. So it's really easy for me to not watch sports, NFL football at least.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, no,
Browns,
did you hear that
yeah.
we got pounded today? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't need to watch that to know. So I got to do this instead, right?
Yeah. No, I was thinking about that the other day. You know, Browns fans, I was thinking they're a lot like the Browns in general, just the Browns as a team, are a lot like Donald Trump in that no matter how bad they do, the fans always stay.
Cheers to that.
Bing. We'll start the divisive podcast comments now. But I'm thinking about doing a branching out and doing a sports show. So like in front of major sporting events, possibly ones that we're going to be drinking at or during. Before that, we would do a podcast with like a panel of people talking about the events.
Awesome.
And I don't know near enough about sports. My memory is worse than my driving. So I would say I can't remember statistics very well at all, but
yeah.
I could definitely like lead the panel and make sure it's moving and, you know, facilitate the discussion.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a fun thing, and I'm trying to get into the UFC because I dig watching those fights.
I enjoy when people pay for them for me. I always go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we're going to pay for a bunch here, or, you know,
Right.
maybe use the internets in different ways to get them, which I think is fine.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's what the internet's for, right?
So that's why I bought the big TV, so we could watch UFC people punch each other and be able to see it better.
Yeah, no, that's totally, I get it.
The older I get, vision's going. But tell us about this chicken wing GoFundMe you have.
All right. So my buddies and I go out on Monday nights, and we go over to local, you know, pub and wing stop, and we do that a lot.
No.
A lot of Mondays. We used to do it a lot of Mondays, and after Amber and I got engaged, we set a $200, which used to be a $150 monthly budget.
Uh-huh.
So when you think about that, that's my fun budget that's expending for lunches, dinners, snacks, outings, beer, all that, all the fun stuff, social stuff rolled into $150. So that's tough.
Tight. If you're eating at the Nationwide cafeteria, you're not going to last long.
So that kicked in January,
Mm-hmm.
and I burned through January in the first week. Then in February, I burned through it in the first couple days. So like, this is bad, right?
Yeah.
But I stayed true to my budget through the end of the month,
Okay.
which means I couldn't go out and do shit.
Yeah.
And I had a buddy that decided to slap me in the face by making me a GoFundMe with my engagement photo, begging people to give me money for beer and chicken wings. And
That's amazing.
I have to say it was probably the most unsuccessful GoFundMe I've ever seen. It has netted $0 in 2.5 months.
Now, does GoFundMe, does it just go forever, or does it have like a time limit?
I don't even know because it's not my account, but it's,
You know what it's called?
It's still up. I think it's called Wing Crew.
Wing Crew.
Probably with a K.
I gotta look this up.
You see my mug. But viewers online, please feel free to send me money for chicken wings.
I'll be the first to donate.
I do love me some chicken wings.
How much are the wings on the Monday night? Because I feel like that's an important thing to know.
They're heavily discounted wings, so like I can have a good time for $15.
All right. Well, how many wings is a good time? Are we talking about wings and beer for $15?
Yeah, a good time's like 15 wings in the gut and maybe 2 or 3 beers.
15 wings in the gut and 2 or 3 beers for $15?
It's not a bad deal.
It's a hell of a deal. I gotta start going to that.
Yeah, and dude, you're welcome to go. It's Monday night, 6 p.m.
I'll definitely be looking at that.
I mean, this is one of the most elite groups of gentlemen I've ever met in my life.
I have no doubt in my mind that is true.
We get horrible service every time. I don't know whether that's because we are who we are or whether that's just circumstantial of the location.
Could be.
But for the price, we just keep coming back. We're gluttons for pain.
Oh, I feel you. Well, I think that right now is a good time as any, to plug one of our sponsors here at the Half Witty Banter podcast.
We have sponsors.
We have 2 sponsors now. And the first one is Cloudhouse. This podcast is sponsored by Cloudhouse. Cloudhouse is a maker space, and they have a little message for you. Have your New Year's resolutions been dropping like flies? Why not add a new one? Join Cloudhouse and hone your making skills. Cloudhouse is a maker facility and community with over 300 tools you can use, knowledgeable and friendly members to help you get started on any project you can think of. So cancel that gym membership you aren't using anyways and join Cloudhouse. For only $35 a month, check the website at cloudhouse.org. That's CLOUDHAUS.org, German spelling, bada bing, for hours of operation and come out for a tour. Cloudhouse, the makerspace that makes your dreams come true.
So you used to do radio for sure.
I was an intern. I didn't really do a whole lot, but
you probably did it when they left the room though. You jumped on the mic and practiced.
God, dude, that's what I wanted to happen. I wanted the spark to catch on the wind. And
yeah, it's like one of those movies, you
newspaper.
You jump into the sound room and you're by yourself, you think everybody's gone, and then the manager comes in and he just kind of creeps because he's respecting what you're laying down so much.
Yeah, I got fired twice. I had 2 internships there.
Hired you back?
Well, yeah, so it was funny because first it was CD 101, right?
Yeah.
And I had an internship with the scene team, which is the marketing department, and that was when I was in college, and we'd go out with the ice cream truck and do whatever. And the manager asked me at one point if I'd want to be one of the little manager people that would help the other interns and drive the truck. And I was like, I'd like to do that, but I don't want to drive the ice cream truck because it was terribly unsafe, and I didn't want to be responsible for killing any young kids. And they were the passenger seat was you slotted it in.
Yeah.
In the front. Yeah, dangerous. So
that's not a good fit for you at all.
I was like, I don't want to be responsible for driving this. And then I ended up leaving that, and I emailed, asked for my letter of recommendation. They gave it to me, because I noticed, so I wasn't on the schedule for the next month. And I was like, oh, well, it must be over, been 3 months or however long. So asked them for the letter of recommendation, got it. Maybe a year, 2 years later, I was like, well, I want to be on the morning show. That's an internship too. That's cool. I was just looking for internships, saw it come up, and it was Joe Jewett, and it was CD 1025. Now, during my time at 101, they switched over, and I helped them move the studio over and all that, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But so Joe Jewett was working there, and he brought me in for an interview. He liked me, I was just out of college, I think. And he was like, oh, there's something I got to check on, though, before I can hire you, because they told me that you were fired from your scene team internship. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, you were fired. They didn't have a discussion with you? And I was like, no, they never talked to me. And he checked, and he was like, well, they said it's because you seemed to be drunk at events. And I was like, well, I drank beers at events, but I was never drunk. I'm just loud and friendly, as you can probably tell now.
Yeah, right.
But he was like, yeah, they thought maybe you just weren't representing the image that we wanted. And he's like, you mean they didn't talk to you ever? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, let me check on it. And he talked to Leslie James, who was working there at the time, and she vouched for me and was like, yeah, he's cool, Yeah. So they got me into the morning show. And then I was there, and Joe and I were cool. It was fun, we'd go there every morning. I think I got there 6 a.m., 6:30, something like that. And then help them look up facts and stuff, and we'd get on there. And Johnny DiLoretto came in a lot, who's a Columbus personality, and he would be recording bumps for the Gateway Film Center, because at that time he was operations manager, I think, for that. He might still be, I don't know. But so we would do that, and I'd talk to him about movies. He's like, oh, you're a cinephile, huh? And I was like, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I like watching movies. And he wanted me to be on another a podcast, he said, which was, I don't remember the name, something with John DeSando on 90.5 they would do, but I didn't know it was on 90.5. We did the podcast, and I missed work one day, and then Joe said he had to fire me, and it was like the very end of the internship anyways. He was like, I got to fire you because you did a competing radio station spot. And I was like, oh,
that's weak.
Yeah, I was kind of like, dang, that's weird. But I think it was more because I didn't show up, too, that last time. I missed the day. So, yeah. And so, you know, I don't hold any grudges. I never would. I don't care. You know, whatever. And it was fun to do. But that was one of those things where, like, I met John De Loretto. He's a cool dude. And I like talking movies with him. And I was like, of course I'm going to do the podcast. Yeah. I probably would have done it even if I had known. But I would have told Joe first.
So movies are a good subject for us.
Yeah?
Because I love movies. But I need to break the seal. So is it possible to do intermission time?
It is possible. We will intermit.
Beautiful. Very nice. Having fun, doing good? coming soon too. Got the rhythm going now too.
Yep. All right, and we're back, and we're gonna talk about some movies here. But before we do, we've got a special announcement. We did a survey this week, and as the people who filled the survey out knew, we were gonna give away a T-shirt, and we absolutely are going to give away a T-shirt, a Half Witty Banter T-shirt, the new one. As soon as the design is finalized, will go out to Christopher Stanley. Chris Stanley won the T-shirt. We did a randomized number pull of all the surveys. Attached your name to the number. Bam. Chris Stanley won it. It'll be going to him. But anyways, we have about 15 minutes left in this broadcast,
right.
And we need to talk about movies.
Yeah, we do.
I'm throwing to Zach. What do you got?
Oh, okay. Favorite horror movie? Do you like horror movies, actually? Because I judge people on this.
Horror movies could be my favorite movies. Could be. Boom.
All right. What's your favorite horror movie?
The Shining.
Is it really?
Yep.
Good choice. No, great choice.
100%.
Yeah.
Love it.
Love that movie.
Everything about it.
Fucking love
Soundtrack, just from the very beginning.
Yeah.
The winding road scene with the, it's like I forget who the composer is, John Sibelius or something like that. The song they used.
All right, you might leave me in the dust. I don't know my composer.
No, I won't. I just knew that one.
Okay, good. So you look like
What's your favorite horror movie?
The Thing.
The Thing is amazing.
1982,
Carpenter.
John Carpenter, baby. Yeah, honestly, I love so many John Carpenter movies. I might have some sort of like semi-boner for him. Apparently.
Yeah.
So I love The Thing. I like all of the Escape movies. They Live. And I love all the soundtracks. The soundtracks in those movies are awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, phenomenal. I seriously, I've watched The Thing so many effing times. It's insane.
Dude, it's fantastic.
So Netflix had a new movie that came out that wasn't total bullshit. The Ritual.
I saw that.
You watch that one?
Yep, I was in and out of sleep, not because the movie was bad, but because I was just exhausted.
Right.
And we were watching it at like 12:30. Watched it with my lady. And yeah, dude, I thought it looked great. Like,
pretty decent.
I feel like I saw a really, really long trailer for it because I just kept passing out. But
did you get the opportunity to see the monster?
Yes, I did, and the monster was cool.
Well
yeah,
done.
And that's a huge thing in horror movies.
It is.
Monsters are often they ruin it or they make it. I mean, think about The Thing. Those special effects, amazing. The Fly,
yeah, absolutely.
Great special effects.
Yep.
But then you think about like. What's the movie? Insidious? Did you see that one?
Oh yeah, all the Insidious except the newest one.
I like those.
I like them too.
But the monster from the first one, or the ghost or spirit or whatever it was, it had terrible. It was terrible CGI.
I'm struggling to see the ghost.
You'll have to look again.
About the witch?
It's like a demon.
The old bitch?
From the first Insidious movie, it's like a demon.
Is it the red-faced fucker?
Yeah, and he's got like a tail.
Yeah, okay, so they fucked that up majorly.
Yeah, they shouldn't even have shown it.
I was so disappointed, yeah.
Everybody hated that.
They should have stuck with the imagery that you saw when she was jotting down like the drawings, right? When she sees like up in the corner of the room and she's like frantically drawing this fucker down.
Yeah.
And it's like this black kind of I don't even know how to describe it, like Mothman looking Grim Reaper shit. That was legit scary. Yeah. And then when they show him sitting down, like sharpening his nails, and they're playing like Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and that
Tiny Tim,
creepy choice, great choice in music. They fucked it up when they showed his face.
Can you believe that was popular, that song?
No, I can't, dude. I can't imagine a world where I would be growing up and my parents would be like, let's listen to Tiptoe to the Tulips.
Yeah, Tiny Tim's our favorite musician.
That guy, and he looked like he straight raped people. Hard the fuck out.
Man, he would just be like a basement dweller, though. I don't think he would leave his house.
In today's day and age, yeah. I agree. No.
Unless he was actually just using all that time to plan a murder or a rape.
He might be more passive than that. He probably orders like children on the dark web type thing.
Ooh.
I would think that's his MO. And it's
poor,
super easy.
Poor dark web children.
It's super easy in this day and age. Not that I know, but like it could be in theory. Right?
I've never even been on the dark web.
It's a
I've
great
heard
place
about
to be sometimes.
Yeah? You been on there?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I visited the dark web. Yeah.
Well, that's another story. Let's stick to movies.
Okay.
Did you see Mama?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed Mama.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Did you see Waiting or The Wailing?
The Wailing? No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, dude, I have it on Blu-ray. We're gonna watch that for sure.
Okay.
And all you guys out there, you're welcome to join.
Right.
Fantastic movie, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
So
blew my mind.
What's the premise about?
The Wailing, it's about, so it's I believe, now I'm a little intoxicated, but I think it's Korean.
Yep.
And it's about like a spirit, like a lot of that stuff is like spirits being disrespected, things like that, you know? And so there's like a spirit that is possessing things maybe, and there's a lot of murders happening.
Yeah.
It just, the cinematography is beautiful. The color's beautiful and well acted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing with horror movies, and I'm sure you know, is that there's a million of them. Mm-hmm. They make a lot of them really cheap, and they don't put a lot of thought into many of them because you can make a lot of money really quick on horror movies because people like to be scared, jump scares, whatever.
Do you think that's the reason, or do you think that it's just, you know, nobody really good decides to do horror movies because it's got that negative kind of cloud around it where like, oh, you did a horror movie, you're probably not a big actor, right?
I think
they kind of choose C-list, maybe B-list if you're lucky actors when they do.
But everybody's C or B-list at some point, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times with movies in general, one of the problems is they choose A-list actors for them if they can get them, and then it takes you out of the movie.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you recognize somebody from someone else, and you're like, that's that guy. Like, if anybody, I mean, if Hugh Jackman's in anything, I'm like, why is Wolverine doing that? You know?
Right.
So, like, if he's in a horror movie, I'm going to be like, that's Wolverine. And then right there, even if I can, like, if he's a great actor too. If I can be like, he's not Wolverine, I'm still not going to be scared because I'm going to be like, at one point he was Wolverine. So I know that he's acting.
So is that what happens to you then? If you know the actor, it kind of ruins it if he has a reputation? That kind of precedes him?
Well, I'd say with a horror movie, probably. If I'm trying to be scared.
What about Ryan Reynolds in the latest Amityville that you did? So that one's getting old by now. It's probably about...
I don't know that I saw that.
10, 15 years old.
Ryan Reynolds in Amityville?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's your assignment.
Okay.
You gotta watch that movie.
What's the title of the Amityville movie?
Amityville Horror.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah, it was the first
Maybe I did see that.
Amity.
Might have been so long ago that I saw it.
So I will say this: they did a really good job on that movie. And I think, I don't know about you, but I think one of the hottest times for horror movies was probably around the time you and I were maybe 15 to 20 years old. And I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with that because like it's before the classics, right? It's kind of that dead zone for everything. Music, you don't listen to it. You don't hear a lot of people like raving about the 2000s.
Yeah.
Or movies for that matter. And the thing is, I think that horror movies were on point at that time because they were so fucking dark and random. Mm-hmm. Because we were a part of the emo generation. Let's be honest. Like, I wasn't emo. I doubt that Tristan was emo. But the point is that there's a lot of feelings going around with those groups of people, and we were a part of that era.
Yeah.
So, like, there was an awesome amount of horror movies in the early 2000s.
What's your second favorite horror movie?
Second favorite.
If you were going to be like, if I'm not watching that one, I'm watching this one. What's it right now?
Dude, it's hard to tell, because, like, everything under first just kind of, like, falls by the wayside.
Can't be true. I don't believe you.
Okay.
There's got to be one.
Well, see, so there's different subcategories of scary for me. There's like the attempted, like constant jump scares, and there's a couple of those that were really well done.
Yeah.
And then there's just the ones that really execute well on like the ambience and stuff like that. So
which one you want to pop in the DVD player? Which one you want to stream?
All right. So when I was a late teen, early adult, I really used to like the Darkness Falls movie. Mm-hmm. I think that
Tooth Fairy.
That was one of the best like movies that constantly attempted to jump scare you ever. because you know how those movies are. They're out there. Have you seen Lights Out?
Yes.
Lights Out was one of those movies that just overdid it to the point where you couldn't jump anymore, and it just wasn't working. But Darkness Falls did what they did so much better.
So, Lights Out was a short film first. Did you see that?
I did.
So the short film's better, and they expanded on it. Great. It's just like Babadook. I think
Babadook was okay.
I think that the short film was way better than the long movie.
Yeah.
Because it didn't need to be the long movie. And, you know, obviously they're like, oh, this is really popular, the short film. And so the producers came in and were like, we're like studios, you know. Yeah, let's blow it up. It's got to be bigger, you know, better.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't. But, you know, I get what you're saying with the jump scares and it dying off and stuff like that. But
yeah, you can only do
let me ask you this. Do you like Hellraiser?
Excuse me. Yeah. Why?
Because it's like it is probably, if The Shining didn't exist, it would be my favorite of all time.
I loved Hellraiser when I was a kid. That was like one of the video store scores for me. When I saw the dude with the spiked face, I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's what I want." Grabbed it a whole bunch of times. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, when I went to the movie store and this is back in fucking VHS days.
Yeah, when you're like picking them off the shelf.
Yeah.
Blockbuster days.
You could score 3 fucking movies for like $5 back in the day. That was solid before Netflix ever came along. So I would get. And I would watch these on rotation. I would get Puppet Master, I would get Hellraiser, Pumpkinhead, and God, what's it called? Village of the Damned. Those were my rotations.
I've never seen Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead that's a good one. So my fiance, if she watches this, she's gonna be like, "Fuck that! It's the worst movie ever." On one of our first dates, I made her watch. Maybe it even wasn't the first date. It was a couple months of dating. I made her watch it, and she was so fucking miserable the whole time we watched this movie. And I'm just like geeking, like, you know, smiling. I'll wait for this part. No, she hated it.
So. That's the thing. I always watch Hellraiser with dates. Like, always when I date a girl, it would be the first couple weeks. If I was going to pick a movie, it'd be Hellraiser. Yeah. Or I'd talk about it so much that when I asked them what movie we should watch, they'd be like, Hellraiser.
Yeah, that's a good play.
It happened. It always happened.
If you knew if they were into you, they would recommend the movie you talk so much about.
Yeah. I never registered that ever.
Add that in my playbook. That's clever. Yeah. I'll do that.
No, it would be clever if I was like, got her. But I never thought that. I was just like, oh, you want to watch Hellraiser? Yeah, that's weird because it's like a movie I would think you definitely don't want to watch. And I'd be like, but all right, you know, that's all I thought. I'd be like, let's watch it. And I'm like, and then I'd talk to my friends and be like, it's so crazy. All these chicks want to watch Hellraiser with me. It's insane. But dude, I love that movie.
Yeah, no, it's
so love it.
It's absolutely a great one.
Yep, and Hellraiser 2, good too.
I'm glad we talked about that because now you have a homework assignment to watch Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds.
Well, I'm glad that we talked about it because you also have an assignment.
What's my assignment?
Well, you have to now review movies for my new website that's going to come out soon.
People don't want to read what I say.
Oh yeah, they do.
Nah. What I say will knock them off their cancer.
You can form sentences. They're gonna love it. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, what is this sound?" It almost seems like grammar. It almost seems like he spent a little bit of time in his school. He can write words and put them into a sentence together.
The issue with that is I have to fit it into my lifestyle to write about it, and I'm gonna have Amber at horror movie cock blocking me as much as possible if she hates them.
It doesn't have to just be horror movies. It's all things.
Oh, it's all movies.
All things.
All things.
You
want
life.
Me to review everything in life.
Yeah, so I'm about to start another review site. I've had this site actually for a while. I've redesigned it several times. It was just me, but my dream is to have a bunch of people that can get into the site and write reviews in a template, and it'll just be like, who are you? Like you'll sign in or something.
Can I write reviews about Budweiser 40s? Like
yes.
Whatever I want?
Everything. Anything in your life.
Anything in my life.
Yep. And you'll just be like, this is the category it is, this is what it is, here's a picture of it, or here's some screenshots. You sign in, it's you, and there's the review.
And I can be a total fucking hater if I want
yes,
to be.
And the idea is short reviews, so people can read them quickly.
So, how many paragraphs are we talking?
Nah, I haven't figured that shit out yet.
Well,
but I'll give you all the details, for sure.
I'm a smart man, and I like math. So I
don't even know the numbers.
I need to know the paragraph count.
Goddamn, I don't like triangles if they're isosceles. Give me them degrees, motherfucker. I need 3 degrees, 3 sets. Give
Monica.
to Monica.
I gotta profile some data soon.
Goddamn, dude. I wish you didn't.
Yep. It's 8:20. I'll give it the Christian try of 5 more minutes.
5 more. We got 5 more minutes.
What else should we do, man? I've had such a fun time, honestly.
We're gonna throw it to the public. No, we're not. Haha, because there's a delay. I can't do that.
We don't just act like they're not there. We don't care about them.
Okay, favorite food?
Thanksgiving dinner.
The whole dinner?
Noodles.
Yep.
Turkey.
Uh-huh.
Or ham.
What's on the noodles?
IDGAF. On the noodles?
Yeah.
Beef broth, chicken broth?
Like a gravy.
Oh, no. We'll get there. We'll get there. You go straight to what you want, and you need to respect other people's needs.
Whoa, I'm trying.
So,
but you just said noodles. I can't even fathom. Could be anything on there.
Your roll, your noodles, your mashed potatoes with gravy on top.
Oof.
You got to stick the spoon down, swirl it, pull out the plug, drop the gravy on top.
Yeah.
And then stuffing and your meat.
Uh-huh.
Right? And then maybe if I'm feeling frisky, I'm just like... all of it. You see that? It's all 5.
I agree with you, and this brings up a very interesting point. There's a lot of people that don't like their foods to touch.
I'm not that guy. So there's a lot of stuff where I agree with that philosophy in life.
Yeah,
but Thanksgiving dinner is not one of them.
Exactly. I think that's what makes Thanksgiving food so magical, is that you can mix it all up and it all tastes delicious still. Even that cranberry sauce, mix it in there. Who cares? Dude. Turkey, cranberry, it's fine.
Take a little carrots. Sauce. I do whatever I want with a little hair, a little pits, you know.
For my whole life, I've been taking that, you know, the canned cranberry that everyone has that you just slice up, like done, that's a dish. I've been taking that my whole life and eating it, even though I hate it. I don't really like it, but I eat it every year. Because
it feels like tradition.
Look at it, it's a disc of like gelatinous purple.
Gelatinous purple.
Maroon.
It looks like a beet that's not supposed to be eaten.
I really like beets. Maybe that's the thing.
You do like beets?
I do.
Man, they don't even serve beets to people in prison, I don't think.
Dude, when you eat a lot of beets, you can pee red.
I was just about to ask if it comes out purple. I wouldn't.
For me, yeah, it does. I read online because I was terrified. So when I switched to a more vegetarian diet, I started eating more of certain things. Beets was one of them.
That's right.
So when I took a piss, right, and I was drunk this night. I took a piss, and I thought it came out red, but I was like, I'm drunk. Just seeing shit. Like I was like, that didn't happen. So I went to bed, right, and I woke up, and I was like, weird dreams. And then I took a shit, and like red stuff was coming off of it, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, I have ulcers. I'm dying. And then I was like, oh wait a minute, I ate a bunch of beets, and I looked online, and it was like, yeah, certain people will have like red pee or red shit when they eat beets. And I was like, well, I'm both those people.
Yeah.
So
that's either a sign of a really good kidney or a really bad kidney, right? Processing off the...
I don't really know.
I don't know.
Could be anything.
We'll side with the
science,
positivity.
Music.
So I'm an interesting one on that. I grew up.
Here we go.
Listening to primarily old rock, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Then obviously, as we're teenagers, I listened to a lot of 90s music. But when my brother got his first car, he decided to drop in one of those fucking subsystems. And he went straight gangster on me. Mm-hmm. So, he was my ride to school.
Yeah.
He gave me a ride basically from when I was like 14 to 16, so I got my license.
Yep.
And so I got exposed to a lot of gangster rap at that time. And I picked it up. I mean, really picked it up. I listened to the most crazy, eclectic, old school, like 80s, 90s shit hip hop.
What are we talking about?
You want my list?
Name some names.
Let's go with the obvious. Because every fucking hipster that thinks he's cool says Tupac and Biggie, who are excellent artists.
Really? Is that what hipsters? I don't think hipsters would say that.
What would hipsters say?
I don't know. Millennial hipsters, maybe.
Yeah.
Are we millennials?
No,
I can't.
Fuck no. I side with
God.
whoever's before that. Don't even get me started on that.
I don't even know.
All right, Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Big L, Lunas, Camp Low, Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I don't know them.
So we should play the guest some Pete Rock.
Well, we can't because we'll get taken off YouTube. But
ooh, we won't do that. But you should check out All the Places I've Been or Concrete Yard by Jurassic 5. That's also a great one.
Do it. I want to hear that shit later, though, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'll roll that before.
Jurassic 5 I've listened to.
Yeah, Jurassic 5 is excellent. I'm trying to think. Of course, I love Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, so much of their music.
All right, let's escalate quickly to now. What are you listening to now?
I still listen to old school.
Okay. Nothing new?
No, not really.
Nothing new that's old?
Nothing
you didn't
new
want?
that's old.
Yeah, like have you changed your palette at all? Is there anyone else that you've added into the rotation recently?
No, I'm still listening to old rock. So I've been listening recently.
Let's hear about that. What kind of old rock?
I've been listening to Boston, Tragically Hip. Trying to think. Journey
with the new singer.
No, I saw them with the new singer. Actually, he was excellent.
Yeah, I've heard he's like the best.
Dude, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, as far as new singers go.
I listen to hair bands too. I mean,
I fuck yes, yeah. Me too. Are you gonna go see Steel Panther?
No. Why?
In March.
When are they playing?
March 4th or May 4th.
We're booked out on concerts already. So I wanted to go see Elton John. We missed out on the tickets. Amber got us. We're going to see Jack Johnson this year. We're going to see. We got tickets for Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
There's one other we're going to see, but I was really bummed about missing out on Elton John. Also, I hate to say it, but I have a fucking soft spot for Dave Matthews.
Oh, I love Dave Matthews.
Okay, well,
dude, I think anyone who says Dave Matthews sucks is an idiot.
Well,
he doesn't suck.
You just drew a line on your viewers, but fuck you.
Yeah,
if you don't
he doesn't
like
suck.
Dave Matthews.
And actually, I'll put this out here right now. I've said this on many podcasts, and I'll say it again. I heard a beautiful thing on another podcast, and at this point, I can't remember who said it, but I've said it before. And the thing is that they realized that when you don't like something, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing necessarily. It could just be not right for you. Maybe it's not your thing. And that's what I think now, or I try to think every time I think that's stupid, that guy's an idiot, that shit sucks. All I think is maybe it's not for me, and I'm trying to put that out there. I'm not doing a great job of it, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about.
And it's a beautiful point, I think. It's like, it's not for you. It wasn't made for you, you know? Like, maybe it's not horrible, but you aren't the audience, you know? It's not gauged towards you.
Right.
So, like, fuck you if you don't like Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews is awesome. They put on a great show. If you've never seen a show by Dave Matthews, then you don't fucking know. So,
fucking right.
Or maybe you don't like Dave Matthews fans. That doesn't mean he's bad or his music's bad.
Well, his fans are beautiful people.
Not all. Some shit in the yard.
Some of them shit in the yard.
Yeah.
That's new to me.
I used to work at a concert venue.
Oh, which one?
Germain Amphitheater.
You didn't, dude. Oh, I saw.
My favorite.
I saw Dave at Germain 3 times, and honestly, it is like the highlight of being a teenager.
Dude, I saw Rush there and the Ozfest last year. Rush and Ozfest.
I have a soft spot now, dude. I love Rush.
Dope.
Yeah, Rush is super fucking awesome. I saw so many revolutionary concerts as a kid at Germain.
Dude, it was the best place. It was so sick.
Yeah.
Sad they got rid of it in Columbus.
Moved in to fucking Highland Lakes, Napster Road, and they took a shit on Germain. They said, no, I don't like the sound. I gotta go to my job in the morning. And I took a giant fucking heaping dookie all over that venue, tore it down, turned it into a goddamn IKEA.
That's what I was going to say.
Now I'm on my fucking high horse. This is bullshit.
It's an IKEA now.
Dude,
God damn.
And when venues like when people didn't have that venue rented, you could go back to the little like web of networked roads and you could fucking street race on it. I mean, that venue was my childhood.
Dude, it was fucking awesome.
I saw Journey, Poison, Dave Matthews, OAR, Disturbed, Stained, Coldplay, Jack Johnson. I'm almost up to 10. I saw so many. I had to have seen like 20 good concerts at that fucking venue.
Dude, that's a lot.
And it's dead and gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Are the remnants still there? They ran a road through there now.
Yeah, I don't think the remnants. They probably.
It used to be you could like drive by before they put IKEA there, and you could like peer off if you're heading northbound on Gemini and you're about to take that left, and IKEA's right here. You could see the remnants of that place, like this skeleton of boards that surrounded the amphitheater, and like tear would just like kind of trickle down your cheek.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, it was beautiful outside. Yeah.
Remember, but now I think they shot a road straight through where it used to be.
Yeah.
So.
Well, dude, Steel Panther's gonna be gnarly.
Heartbreaking.
Should definitely come. It's going to be sick.
Do they still have tickets?
It's $30 a piece. Yeah, I don't think they don't sell out quickly.
You know, POD is playing at some shit bar in Lancaster this year.
Lancaster.
You're not down for that?
I don't know. I'd have to go there. I don't have a place to stay in Lancaster.
I basically would hear like Southtown leave, but
yeah,
really
I just I don't want to. I don't want to go to any concert that I can't Uber away from.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real good point.
Unless they're a big enough name or mean enough to me that I'm going to spend the night. By the way, I am going in June to Primus and Mastodon at the fucking Express Live. Dude, Primus.
Express Live.
Dude, I hate the name because it's been so many names over the last like 5 years.
It has. What was the first name that we knew about? It was
How do you land on these names too? Like Express Live, it was Promo West for a little while.
Promo West is the one I remember.
Yeah, but it's Express Live now. It's like called something cool. Like I love the Newport because it's the Newport and it still is. That's my favorite venue.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Absolutely.
I haven't seen anything at Newport in a decade.
I saw Guar there when their lead singer was still alive.
Did you?
Dude, I love
Guar's. Where did he die from?
I don't know, but he died.
Yelling?
Probably like fissures, anal fissures.
Anal fissures.
I would guess because
that's reaching.
Doesn't that seem like what a Guar like band member would die from?
I figured blood pressure.
Or like chaps.
Like
chaps too tight.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but they got a lady like lead singer, and I don't know. I don't know if they're still going now, but it was a good show.
It doesn't work with a woman. And that's
it did.
To women.
No, it did for a little bit.
Could she really hit that bass though?
I don't know. I didn't see it, but I just was informed that it was working.
I feel like their voice is like, is it octaves? Too many octaves.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I love Guar.
Yeah, no, dude, they did some fucked up shit in their day. Good for them. Well, my friend, it's about that time. I've got to go work.
All right. Well, we're wrapping up because this guy's important.
This isn't the norm. This is the exception.
Yeah, he's wrapping up here. He's an important fella.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
And he's got to put some fires out before those fires turn into larger fires.
Well said.
So everybody have a good night. We're going to wrap this podcast up, and I hope some of you out there are watching. And if you're not, then I hope in the future you are, because it will live on YouTube, hopefully, forever. Ever, 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 ever. Now let me walk over here and turn this off, because I haven't set this up right yet.